So, we're about to go see Wakanda Forever. Review will be coming. We're excited. We're in the theater. Black Panther. Alright, it's about to begin. And there's much anticipation. So, we're excited. Let's see. Alright, guys. Welcome back. We're not in the cave, but while it's fresh on the brain, get it to you folks, okay? Just got out of Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever, and let me say, look, I went into this movie with, medium expectations, but let's face it, Marvel's Phase 4 has been lackluster from the get-go. And I also had the kind of expectation that, my opinion, that, I kind of hoped, how can you have a Black Panther without, without Chadwick Boseman? So I was under the sort of the whole vibe of, they should have left it alone and left it, firmly with him. But anyway, went and seen the movie, and let me tell you, I'm totally, as they say, eating crow. That was a good movie. It was true to his legacy, good tribute, a good homage, if you will, toward Mr. Boseman. Let me say, this movie is good. All right, Marvel ends Phase 4 on a high note. Okay, Letitia Wright, who plays Shuri, does a fantastic job of sort of taking on the role of point man, if you will, leading man or leading woman in this scenario. I apologize. Cast is all back, great as usual. You got everybody. Angela Bassett. You got Winston Duke back as M'Baku. Martin Freeman as Agent Ross. So there's lots of good, cast members in this one. They're all back. The storyline is really good. I don't want to give it away. I don't want to spoil it. You need to go watch this and experience it on your own. So it's going to be a spoiler-free review for me. But let me just say the story is good, okay? That was something that has been lackluster for the whole entire Marvel Phase 4, really since the end of Endgame. In my opinion, that Marvel has not been able to produce a solid story, utilizing their characters and their characterization, but this one really does a good job. It's gonna make you cry. It's gonna be a tearjerker because, let's face it, going into it, you kind of under that impression already anyway, to do the fact that Chadwick Boseman has passed on and was no longer in the role of Black Panther. But so yeah, it's an emotional, heartfelt story. Marvel has brought this one with a lot of heart and a lot of good drama and emotion, and so that's a plus in my book. Story is all fine and dandy with action and big explosions and all that good stuff. Gotta have it. I love it. But as a storyteller and as someone who appreciates a good story, it has to be there. It has to have the heart, the emotion for these characters. You can't buy it if you don't attach yourself to them. And so this story very much does have that, and so A+. All right, let's get to Namor, okay? He's been around in the Marvel Comics since the dawn of Marvel, pretty much, all the way tracing back to the early 1940s. Been around. But Marvel Studios kind of take some liberties here and there with his origin story and his whole background, which is fine, understandably so, because you don't want to put out something so similar in nature, considering the fact that Warner Brothers and DC has already beat you to the punch with Aquaman. Kind of can't go the whole Atlantis route and all that good stuff. So they do bring a fresh take and a new spin to Namor, and it works. It's cool. I won't butcher the young man that plays Namor's name. I won't try to even pronounce it because it's neither here nor there, but he does a fine job. He does a really good... Look, I appreciate the fact that they made Namor so powerful. I will say that. That's not a spoiler. But the fact that they made Namor as strong as the freaking Hulk, I liked it. I dug it. I thought that was cool. But anyway, he turns in a great performance. He's sort of, taking on the role of antagonist in this movie, not so much the heroic type, at least not yet. But there's time. They can kind of play with his story and kind of play with that character and bring that more to the forefront. But with that being said, this movie does a great job of introducing us to new characters like Namor, and then the young lady who will be taking on the role of Ironheart, sort of an Iron Man-esque type vibe. She's got the genius intellect. She's young, super smart, and can build anything. And so she's sort of stepping into that role of the whole Iron Man thing. Don't know how I feel about that. I don't know yet. And to be honest, I wouldn't really shown a whole great deal in the movie that could make me decide either way. That being said, she does a fine job, as far as her performance, but we'll just have to see how her whole spin-off Disney Plus series comes about later on. That being said, it's fun. If I had to say anything to critique it negatively, I would say that Wakanda Forever is a little lengthy at times, and it does have a few moments where it kind of feels like it drags. Not a lot, and it's not like a, oh my God, is this ever going to end type thing. It's just like, okay, they could have done without that scene and made it a little shorter. That type of vibe. Was not bored, in the fact, don't misconstrue my words there. I wasn't bored or anything, but the fact that it could have been a little shorter, yeah, sure. But as they say, you get your money's worth. But anyway, it's rated PG-13. There's not a lot of language, if any. I don't remember hearing any. It's violent. It's got some action. The fight scenes. Okay, let me just say the end fight scene, and I'm not gonna spoil it or say who it involves or anything of that nature. I'm just gonna say it was really good for Marvel. A exquisite fight scene at the end. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I dug it. It was great. I love a good fight. Everybody knows that when it comes to movies, you got to throw in a good fight to make it good. Okay, and Marvel did it with this one. So kudos on that. So yeah, it's just a fun movie. It's fresh. It's good. It's a good send-off and tribute to the legacy that Chadwick Boseman had established with the character. He'll definitely live on through the movies to come and through these characters' lives. I mean, you can obviously tell in their performances that Mr. Boseman had a huge impact. What little brief time he did have with this character and with Marvel and all the other actors, you can tell that. It was an emotional experience. I even remember reading some articles from about Letitia Wright's experience on set. It just being an emotional experience for her and for the rest of the cast. And so, yeah, like I said, it's a great send-off tribute to him and his family, and it's worth watching just for that. And if you loved the first Black Panther, which I did, then you're going to like this one. I liked the first one because it brought us into a new world of Marvel. I've said it oftentimes. The reason I liked the first one so much is it brought in a new culture. It brought us to a different place in the Marvel Universe, and it established new characters and locations. And this one does that as well, believe it or not, with the already established Wakanda and all the great vibranium and stuff like that. We get introduced to another world under the sea with Namor and his I'm gonna butcher it, but I'm gonna go ahead for it. Talokans or something. Talokans, I think that's it. Probably not, but anyway. So yeah, we get introduced to some more new stuff, and it's cool, and I like that. So I like that it's fresh and it's new. It's currently playing in theaters, not streaming anywhere yet. You gotta catch. You do. This is a big movie that you want to experience on the big screen, and I'm definitely glad I did. Because let's face it, right now there's not a lot available or to offer, especially us nerds. And so finally we have this one, and you know, it's great, and I loved it. Just the experience of being in the theater and in the cinema, big screen, loud sound, the whole works. It just works with this movie. You need to go see it in theaters, and so yeah, go check it out. It's currently playing. You got plenty of showtimes, I'm sure, but you want to get your tickets early because this is a hot movie, and so you want to get them early. That way you don't get sold out. Okay. Anyway, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. It's, you know, it's a good one. I give it 2 thumbs up, solid. It's a good movie, and like I said, Marvel finally hits the mark this year, and for that matter, the past 2 years, or year and a half, really. Because let's face it, Marvel Phase 4 was crap, okay? But they hit the mark with this one, and end Phase 4 on a high note. So, check it out, all right? I'm telling you, you won't be disappointed. It's a fun movie. Anyway, as we say, we're not in the cave, but we're going to do it. As we say, this has been moi's opinion, and opinions are like, what? They're like butts, that's what. Everybody's got one, and some of them, they stink. Later, folks.